Alright guys, I was asked to do over a video showing the rotary head as an individual component. So what I'm going to do, this is the rotary head for 12-inch Whirl-a-Way surface cleaner. In the last video I showed the problems I was having with the rotary arm not being able to turn. Right, so this would be the connection for a rotary arm. Right, so what I'm going to do today is scrap this down. This is the rotary head for the 12-inch. Right, so I open here like that. Now I was also asked to clean it, so after a little soak in the infamous simple green, everything is all cleaned now. So you can see there it's cleaned. Alright, inside there has the bearing, there turns. So that is one indication that the problem is not the bearing. Right? Then we have the other part. This part here is called the inlet carbide valve. Alright, this is backed by a spring. See if you press that, see, spring. Okay, so I'm going to scrap, but I'm going to start with this one first. So I'm going to scrap this down here. This uses I'm going to use a 13mm socket in there. Alright, comes out pretty easy. Right, so this is what comes out of there. Right, that comes out of here. There's a threading inside there that this went in here with. Alright, so this by itself is called the inlet valve with carbide seat. Alright, so this part here, right, is the carbide seat here. Right, we also have a Viton seal here. Okay, now for this part here, so this comes out and there's a spring in here, and that's it. So basically this is just a solid part, the spring, and this meshes with the other part. Now I'm putting this back in here without the spring, so you'd see where it's supposed to sit. You see these keys here. Right, those keys there line up, and I guess that locks that in place there. Right, now with the spring inside, it will be has to be pressed down in order to fit in that seat. Okay, so this is how this works. Out of that, these two things would mesh here like that and create, I don't know, probably a valve where water doesn't pass but also makes it able to spin. Right, that's the only way I see that working. So I have these two, as you said, as I was requested to have them clean, and I had them cleaned. Right, it looks black, so it does show some sign of burning. Now, if they were spinning, if one spins, it would create friction, and friction does create heat. Why has it stopped working when I tighten it up? I'm not sure. All the seals seem to be good. So what I'm going to do is just put everything back together now, right? So spring goes in here, right? Inlet valve there. And I mentioned about the spring, so you see how high that is there, right? Spring presses down, so it goes into here and it locks there, right? This goes back in here and it tightens them up. So that's that. And then these components go together. Alright? Alright? Together. Alright, so just before I continue, see that here? Right? So once again, it's not the bearing, alright? Then I started tightening this up here. Oh, look at that. That is not supposed to give me that resistance. So just to give you an idea of what is happening here. Alright, see? This is supposed to spin very freely, so there's a play, you know, maybe it's warped, maybe. You know, that, maybe it's not flat anymore, but nevertheless, it was less than 6 months. And this is the problem that I had with it. So what is going to happen now is entirely up to the supplier.